And welcome into KSL Sports Rewind's Game of the Week. Come to you live from the jungle at Brighton High School as the Brighton Bengals host the Bear River Bears. Thank you for joining us, everyone. My name is Dane Stewart. I'll be joined by Kenzie Christiansen here shortly. What a game we have coming up for you today on KSLSports.com. We'll get into teams and matchups as the opening draw in the air. Bear River in the Road Reds and Brighton in the home white and navies as the opening draw controlled by Bear River. Nice surge there by the Lady Bears. Come in 9-1 on the season. Good start. Lost the second game of the year to Corner Canyon. Other than that, it has been a year for Bear River. Decisive wins over Fremont, West Jordan in 6A, as well as a bunch of 4A teams as they get an early call here. And we'll start inside, right on goal, and that's saved away. Good save there for Kiefer. Annabelle Kiefer, the starting goalie today for Bear River, or for Brighton, my apologies. Coming in with a .511 save percentage on the season. And we've got a stoppage here as Bear River will start on the edge here, and it will be the start here by Wilkinson for Bear River. Working around. Still with it here. Wilkerson backed up by the Bears. Good sustained possession here for Bear River in the opening minutes. Bears continuing here with it. This is Mickelson. Really good on the draws this year for Bear River. Also has 21 goals on the season. Mickelson still with it. A little bit of a lane there right in front. The bounce shot there backed up here once again by Bear River. Put in play here with Wilkinson. Skipped across, and that bounce shot was just wide. Boy, that's a good find looking backside there for LaCroix. The senior just missing the cage there.
They really want to utilize this time because it can go fast-paced as long as they keep cutters going and find it back.
Bear River starting once again here. Brighton's had to rely on that defense. They work right in front. LaCroix forced outside here, but a whistle here. The infraction there. It'll be a start here for Bear River.
If I saw that correctly, it is in the sphere. Both refs pulled up their flags, and she was able to get an 8-meter shot because she pulled out.
Thus far, Kiefer's kept things out. Things have been a little wide. That shot going over the shoulder, and it's Bear River first to score here today. LaCroix with the goal.
Yeah, LaCroix had a very impressive shot there. She was able to pull the goalie to her left-hand side over that pull and shoot right over top shoulder. Great tactic and overall a good goal.
Intriguing game. We talked about Bear River, 9-1 coming in. Brighton, great start for the Bengals, 6-2. Have comparable wins over some of the same teams that Bear River has played. Losses in the earlier part of the year. They lost to Lone Peak. They lost to Fremont. But it's been a really good start for Brighton on the season and trying to, still feeling out Bear River here in the early part of this first half.
Yeah, talking to both coaches, they're both very excited for this matchup. They both said they don't know how this game is going to go because you had such different wins and losses over the season so far. So it's exciting to see how they're going to play it out.
That's one of the things for me is I kind of feel like, the strength of what's been the Bear River offense this year and the discipline of the Brighton defense and which of those can win out over the course of a full game.
Yeah, it really does balance out to that, but always as well, having a communicated goalie also helps out with that attacking defense to be able to direct that.
First offensive possession for the Bengals. This is Bangeter with it. As Brighton looking to set up the offense.
So that was a 3-second foul. So that means the defense was, if I saw her fingers correctly, that means the defense was in the 3 seconds inside the 8, not guarding a player within a stick length.
So this start will be straight away here for the Bengals. Peeling back is Ellis. Works to the perimeter. Back with Lauren, the senior. Everything on the exterior here for Brighton. Bangor trying to get around the edge there. Helped there by that Bear River D. Now worked behind the cage. Here's Gurley. Boy, a couple Bear River defenders right there. The flag up there.
Pushes the call. It will be staying for the 8-meter arc.
So Gurley here will start at 8-meter, just off center. Isabel running in, the shot, the goal, and Brighton with the response.
Yeah, those amazing goals. She did the exact same thing that the Bears did on the opposite end. She pulled that goalie to the left-hand pole, shot right over right shoulder, got an amazing goal, and overall an impressive shot.
That's a nice response for Brighton, right? First couple of minutes, Bear River has a couple shots. They back it up. They kind of keep that pressure on offensively. And Brighton, on their first possession, able to find the back of the net, tied up at 1. So we'll head back here for third draw of the game. They've gone each way here in the opening minutes. That's going to be captured by Mickelson. McKenzie coming ahead. We talked about off the draws this year. 750 for Mackenzie Mickelson. She's been strong, and the defense there gaining possession here for Brighton.
Yeah, looking at their stats overall, like they are very impressive on the Bears side. The draws have been flawless. They have great direction, great control. So it's fun to see that they are, excelling at that here early in the game.
It's pretty remarkable when you talk about this Bear River squad. They've played Fremont, played Corner, played West Jordan. 179 goals coming into this through 10 games. Like, the offense packs a lot of punch as Bear River gaining it back here. Here's Larkin for the Bears. She'll play over with LaCroix, has the opening goal for Bear River. Good find inside, Lorimer. Push there, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be straight away here from 8 for Lorimer. Peeling there wide. That shot saved away. Nice save there, close by Kiefer. And Brighton will have it. Kiefer, just a sophomore youngster there between the pipes for Brighton. She's the one giving up, but she's done a nice job here in the early minutes against this Bear River offense. Oh, and that one mishandled. And the call there, it'll be Bear River possession.
Yeah, Wilkinson will be taking, I believe, on the 12-meter. She will have a lane in front of her.
Boy, that's a tough one. You have an opportunity to move it up, and early turnover right in front. Oh, nice save by Kiefer.
That was a great ball tracking for that goalie, having to, move across from the first inside to the center hash. Great ball control there.
There's Zoe Kiefer running up the sideline here for Brighton. Past the defense, pushed out there. Good burst there for Kiefer of Brighton. Boy, Bear River, it feels like there's always 2-3 Bear River defenders around the ball at all times.
Yeah, no, they've been working hard on that defense, especially with, some of the teams that they've been playing. They have some strong attackers that they've had opponents against. So just working high, strong defense immediately is really something that's going to take them to that next level here in this game.
They've played their last 7 games, have been 4A and 1 5A team. They've not allowed more than 3 goals during that stretch. Yeah. So we talk about the offense and how good it is, but that defense is no slouch of Bear River either. Here's Gurley with it for the Bengals. Oh, tried to play that out, but a call here will save it.
3 seconds is what's called again. That's the Bear River's second time getting called on 3 seconds. Same girl, so she's got to watch her footing just a little bit better. Make sure that you are outside that 8 if you're not a foot away, not a stick length away.
Starting it here is Eichner. Had that one jarred loose. Call there. We'll bring it back here. Eichner will start it here once again for Brighton. Working down with Gurley. Now around.
Come on, Hughley, let's go.
We've been down on this defense for a few moments now, and Brighton's just not had the time to attack the goal like they would like to.
Well, players are having challenges getting separation, right?
Exactly.
Everything's on the exterior right now. Not a lot of room to work.
The Bears have had a lot of motion with being able to switch with their teammates very well, allowing them space to not get jumbled together on any, picks.
Boy, Bethany Richard had a head of steam right there, taken away by Gurley. It was a nice job stepping up there in the sphere. And Bear River quickly up with it. Here comes Cummins. Trying to get that with Larkin. This one on the turf. Trying to pick it up and does. Nice job there by Sophie Nielsen. If memory serves, I think Sophie's also a basketball player, I believe.
Yeah, I think that sounds correct.
Yeah, we'll have to look at that. I want to thank Coach Nash. She gave us all sorts of information, but we didn't have much opportunity before the game to talk and go through some of that. So we'll get there as the game goes on. Push here, and Brighton will start it once again just near midfield. Right up the line there with Kiefer.
That's smart. Take it to X. Look for your opportunities. Look for your cuts. Look for your crease rolls. That was smart to take it back. Start it there.
Hugely works that back up top. Here's Gurley. Bang at her. Brighton working around. I think this is Lee. Caroline, the sophomore.
The Bears have switched to have a backer defense, which hopefully will work in their benefit here.
What does that mean? Explain.
Oh, so a backer defense means literally that definition of that is having the girl's back. So the girl that's on ball has number 16 here behind her as she's crossing back and forth. She has her back. If she gets beat with that contact defense, there's someone there to save her, just like that.
Here's Gurley working off that screen from Eichner, trying to split it. That one lost in the air, and the whistle here will keep it with Brighton.
Yep, it's across the body.
That's Izzy Gurley again for the Bengals that have the ball.
Isabel, one of the top scorers for Brighton. 16 goals on the season coming into the match.
That was a major foul, so she does get pulled up to the 8.
Gurley getting ready to run in. Isabel shot in the goal, and the Bengals take the first lead of the game.
That was a beautiful sink to the bottom of that net. Pulling in, going with fire, going with drive. You could tell this off the line. She was pumping. She was ready.
Yeah.
She had the energy. I thought she was going to almost full start there, and I'm happy she didn't because she got a beautiful goal off of that opportunity.
Yeah, she was kind of waiting, like, can we go? Can we go? Let's
Yeah.
go. Let's go.
Yeah, a little bit of the hold up. It looked like one of the Bear River players in the back end moved forward a little bit. The ref just had to tell her to balk back. That's what that little bit of that hold up was.
18th goal of the season for Isabel Gurley. One behind Hannah Bangeter for the team lead. Good start here for Gurley. 13 to play in the half. Back on the draw. On the turf. Oh, I thought Gurley was going to come away with it, but the whistle there will give it to Bear River. LaCroix to start it. Looking ahead here with Lorimer.
I love that she held the ball for a second, giving her teammates some time to get ahead of her so then she can make that next move and that pass like she just did.
Lorimer working back up top here, gives to Larkin.
Good crash.
Boy, that Brighton defense taking away the interior.
That was a beautiful crash. Well done to have that communication with your team. Just make sure that, that gap is close so you're not that more than a stick length away for that shooting space that just happened.
So this will be J.C. Larkin with the opportunity here from the 8 coming in. Looking
nice.
Bounce shot and the finish. Bear Rivers tied it up.
That was a beautiful goal with the bounce shot. She drove herself in, past that defense, and was able to place it right at the feet of that goalie to make it up to that top shelf goal.
So good response there by Bear River. Had their first deficit of the game and a quick answer. Tied up at 2.
And you can tell that defense down there for the Bengals is having a conversation a little bit off screen on the right side. Just talking about what just happened, what they can do better, and how they're going to excel in the next time.
We'll head back here for the draw. Bear River's been tough on the draw in the first half here. Anything you're seeing there, Kenzie, of how you try to counter that?
A lot of it's going up in front of Bear River, like either above her or in the front side of her. So just making sure that, I think her name is Izzy, is counteracting that correctly, like she timed out.
Oh, and thought Gurley was going to come away with it, had it jarred loose. And Bear River off the draw. Here comes Mickelson, start to finish in the lead, back to the Bears.
That was a great goal. You have the lane, why not take it? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, and she had the drive, she had the lane, she had the open ability to get her stick away from her body and just shoot it through.
You've done a lot more girls lacrosse than I have, but I'll tell you, I don't recall seeing such a lane off of a draw before. Typically, that kind of gets taken away a little bit earlier, but where that ball ends up, if you get possession, like it's hard for that defense to take that away, given that particular scenario we just saw.
It depends on where it is on the field, like you said. Also, Brighton's holding their defense high with a fifth defender, so just making sure that fifth defender stays back just a little bit. Redraw, meaning the ball did not go over the draw taker's shoulders. But Brighton's heavily counteracted, got that fifth defender down low for no fast breaks getting past them.
In the air, this one far side, gathered by Gurley. A whistle there will keep it with the Bengals.
So that call was across the body. Once she hits the field, comes about 2 meters in. 2 meters in, it is a self-start. And the Bears are certainly prepared for that as they got 3 people there ready to defend. I think she's replacing her back to the spot of the foul, allowing her to come in and have a proper self-start.
Here's Gurley. Again, you see the way that team collapses down defensively. Here come the Bengals. Oh, looking right in front. Good defense there by Person. Brighton's still on it here. Hugely sent down. This is Bangeter.
Go, bang, bang.
Yep, they're back with that second man defense, which helps out certainly with those kind of moments just there.
I thought Gurley was going to have that opportunity to spin around, just lost it. In the sphere there, we'll give it here to Bear River. We approach 10 minutes to go here in the opening half. 3-2 Bears. That pass off the mark, but trickles through.
Is that Marley?
Bear River trying to gather. Brighton trying to gather. Contact there. We'll give it to the Bengals. I was going to say, Bear Rivers is anxious to start as anyone.
Yeah, Marley's been out with an injury. That's who's back behind her. So I know she's anxious to get back on the field, get more strikes on the board, and just have a good time.
Here comes Nielsen through a couple defenders. Eichner with it now for Brighton. Send up here with Bangeter.
I think the Bengals are trying to figure out how to get through that backer defense. That backer's been holding strong every single time they've got past their first defender.
How do you break that down? Ball movement?
Ball movement, speed, just seeing. It was a block. Sorry, I was trying to figure out what that was. It was a block, is the call. So just seeing the speed with the ball, speed with your feet, see your teammates, use X cuts, try and get those defense tripping over each other.
This will be Bangeter starting it straight away. From 8, coming in. Oh, boy, look at the collapse of that defense. Be called here, but that was a great job getting back by Bear River.
No, that was beautifully done. I love that they are doing something that I love to teach is they're pointing their feet towards the player and not towards the goal. Being able to drive in, you'll see that right-hand girl being able to collapse in fast enough to have her sticks in front of her. False start is what it's called.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be the case. Yep. Official right on it. But no, you're right. They're lined up to a spot, not to the goal.
Yeah, lining up to the player. They want to stop the player.
Work to the angle. That's good recognition right there. Look, don't force it, right? Find the open space, take advantage.
I mean, I feel like I'm pretty good about picking those types of things out that they're about to pass it. That is such a connection between the team for having that player down on the low, having it down on low on X, having her cut forward, get that assist, and launch it to the back of the net. That was beautifully done. You know, definitely fooled their defense, and did a great job.
Bangeter, I think, according to the stats report, I think goal number 20.
That's amazing.
For Hannah this season.
Good for her. Yeah, the Bengals had a little bit some time off with the weather delay. They have nearly a month off of playing. So getting back into it, they've been coming intense with some hard teams.
Speaking of, I'm glad Mother Nature let us do this game today. We wanted to be here Monday, and the storms unfortunately made it difficult for us to be able to make that work. And I know they played the game. It was a nice win for the Bengals, but great that we've got a nice day here where we're able to come out and watch this game.
Yeah, I really love this game. I love Nash. She's an amazing coach here at Brighton. And then there's a lot of great players on Bear River that I've got to know myself, and I'm just excited to see this game overall.
Well, and it's pretty remarkable when you think of these two teams, right? Last year, Brighton finishes third in the state. Bear River runs the table, goes undefeated, wins the state championship. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty remarkable when you consider the status of these two programs and the chance we get them to match up this part of the season. It's awesome.
It is amazing. Another thing that I love to see here with the Bears, nice interception.
Yeah.
I like to see here with the Bears is that, you know, a lot of people have a certain mindset. You know, they're from the north, right? They want to see how they compete with some of these more teams that have been around for longer than them. And the Bears show up. They show up, they show off, and they get the job done very well. And that just shows right here that they have the opportunity and the skill set to be able to be here playing against the Bengals.
We talk about the only loss they have this year is 7-5 to Corner Canyon. That's a top 5 team in 6A, and they lose by 2. Like, you know, they're put them up there with top teams in the state. It is a whistle here. We'll keep it for the Bengals, but this is just another opportunity to, you know, statement game for Bear River.
Yeah. So she's going to go on the hanging hatch, which is a harder shot. I did personally watch the Corner Canyon Bear River game. That was a fun game to talk about. But here right now, that hanging hatch shot is going to be difficult. She'll probably look for her teammates, seeing what's open.
Yeah, here's Caroline Lee. We'll start it for Brighton. Looking to retake that lead here. 6 to play. Lee coming in. Oh, Lee right over the shoulder. And Brighton retakes the lead.
Beautiful tuck dodge done by, I think, Caroline's the name.
Yep.
By Caroline. And she did a sweet tuck dodge with the right hand, covered it from that defense on her right side. Got in front of her, got goal side, which no defender wants their attacker to do. Got goal side and released that goal.
And I'm an instant fan. If you go Neil Diamond, like, I'm all in. I'm all in. All in. Got Sweet Caroline playing over the speakers after the Caroline Lee goal. Well done, Brighton. Well done. 6 to play here first half. 4-3 the lead for the Bengals. Procedure here will give it to the Bengals.
She's doing a smart thing as well. Kind of waiting it out for just a second, get to her spot, let her teammates get ahead. Her defense is helping her out. Great idea for a transition.
Here comes Kiefer.
Come on, Zoe. Put his shoulder into him. Come on.
We'll work this back. Bangeter playing this out. Now a little bit of space here for Lee. Gurley. Right in front. Shot. Oh, to save. Big.
Sorry, that was a beautiful assist. A great idea. Beautiful, save. Great job.
Probably the best save of this first half for Bear River.
Yeah, no, and it was a good one on that.
Brighton still with it. That pass just a little tough to be handled there by Bangeter. May have hit the head.
Off her head.
Yeah.
I know, get body behind ball, but that was a little too literal for me. Hopefully she's all right down there.
They wear goggles. They don't wear helmets. That's. Yeah.
I could see her.
I probably would have hit the deck. Let's be honest. I probably would have gone to the turf.
Yeah. It's scary.
Yeah. Here's
I've had
right.
a few zippers cross me when I've been playing defense, and you hit the deck. You for sure do. So she's a strong person to be able to stay through that.
Played back over here with Wright. Bangeter. Boy, I thought they might have had a little bit of space there, but they'll work it back around.
I think they're being a little hesitant because they know they have that backer, making sure they have the timing. They have all the time in the half, and they have another half. So take your time, get it right, wait for your perfect opportunity. Don't rush it.
Bangeter with it. Tanner defending. That disrupted. Tanner got the stick up. A call there will give it to Bear River. So that defense able to generate the possession back here for the Bears.
No, that was a beautiful, that was a cause turnover, being able to get that interception on the pass. And that's exactly what Brighton did. They were doing a pattern of a pass, and that defender definitely picked up on that.
Transition here for Bear River. Mickelson running right down the middle. Has help. Was jarred loose. Gurley there called for in the sphere.
Yeah, so in the sphere, there wasn't necessarily a check, but her stick is way too close to her body, interfering in her sphere.
So this will be Mickelson to start it. Playing with LaCroix. All right in front. Good find in the finish. Bear River tying it up on the goal by Sydney Cummins.
No, I love seeing Sydney just launch that in the back of the goal. She had defense around her, but just not enough body contact from the Bengals to stop her drive. Beautiful goal on that left side of the goalie. Very well executed for Cummins.
Bear River's done a nice job of freeing up space in front of the cage and getting the ball there for close looks.
Yeah, I saw when we were setting up here just a moment ago when they had the drive off of the 12. She had looked over to her teammate on the right side, seeing if she was going to cut in. She didn't have the opportunity for the cut. They waited their time. They found that perfect cut from Sydney and got a great goal.
2:46 to go. Tie contest. I should say in the first half. Tie contest here. Brighton and Bear River face off. One again here by the Bears. LaCroix.
Yeah, LaCroix was very smart there. She didn't overcommit to the draw to jump forward. She hesitated for just a second, was able to get the backside of the Bengals and get the draw.
Got a step. And the call here. Not a bad play there by Gurley. You're beat. You got to do something, right?
Exactly.
So they will give this to LaCroix to start it.
Shooting space. Oh, that's one that they're not many teams are getting used to. It's been called a lot this season. Between that 8 and the 12 on that hanging hash, if you're more than a stick length away between a player and the goal, you are going to get called on shooting space, especially by that low ref.
LaCroix will start again. Boy, maybe got a run here in the middle. Working around. Jenna still with it. And The flag here held up, a push, no cross check.
Yep, stick to body contact. It was a flag. It wasn't interfering her drive until it did. Once it did, that's when the whistle's blown and she gets pulled back up to the 8-meter.
LaCroix will start once again here for Bear River. Running in, has a shot and a goal. Back-to-back goals for the Bears. This one from LaCroix.
That was beautifully done. She was over on the first inside hash, being able to, protect her stick. It looked like there was a good check coming from behind her, too. Just protecting that stick and moving the goalie to her left-hand side and selling it up to the top shelf.
A lead back to the visitors. 5-4, minute and a half to go here in our opening half.
Looks like they're mixing up the draw a little bit.
Yeah, they're going to bring Gurley in here.
I don't think I've personally seen Izzy take the draw, so I'm excited to see how she does here with the Bears. Or not, against the Bears.
It feels like that's been a part of this game that has been advantaged to Bear River in this first half.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to mix it up, try something new.
Yep. This one finally plucked out of the air there by Hughley. Nice job. Approaching a minute to go here in the half. See if Brighton can get a equalizing opportunity.
1 minute to go. 1 minute to go in the first half.
Brighton with it. Burst here from Eichner. She'll pull back out. Give this to Gurley. Split it. That shot was just high. Backed up there by Brighton.
This is a time that, the Bears can't turn their back to the ball. They got to be able to pay attention where that ball's at because it can come fast and live on the field.
That one lost. Regathered here for Lee. Final seconds down to 20. Bangeter. A little run through the middle there, taken away by Bear River. Bangeter still with it, down to 10 seconds here in the half. Run here from Lee. Lee looking for some space, shut down, but the call there will give Brighton here with...
Yellow card.
Who's that given to? It's given
Check
to Bear
the
River?
head.
Yeah. No.
I'm actually not surprised by that because, honestly, she was driving in. I thought she was going to get called for a charge. You can't back your way in or push your way through defense. So to see something happen, I'm not honestly too surprised because there was a lot of chaos going on there. Unfortunate, got to learn from those opportunities, but, just play on.
With that, Bear River will tick down the final seconds. We've reached the half. It's a one-goal game. Bear River leading Brighton 5-4. You're watching KSL Sports Rewind's Game of the Week on KSLSports.com.
It all starts with a smile. To show you care, offer a sign of love, welcome someone home. Even when we don't see each other, or share a room, even without words, smiles bring us together. Let's keep yours healthy. Stonehaven Dental. Schedule online at stonehavendental.com.
For over 25 years, Salt Lake Running Company has helped people of all ages and levels find the gear they need to start their fitness journey. From a free custom shoe fit analysis to a premium assortment of footwear and workout essentials, SLRC is a top 10 run shop in America. Locally owned, locally operated at 5 locations along the Wasatch Front. SLRC is there to help you gear up and get out. Visit a store near you or shop online at slrc.com.
Welcome back. Getting ready to start the second half. Dane Stewart, Kenzie Christiansen with you. Bear River leading Brighton 5-4. Kenzie, your thoughts on the first half?
I don't know if I can put it other than the word wow. Like this is this
Well
is
said.
Fun.
Well said.
It's been fun. It's fun to see how both teams are, calculating their goals and working as a team and communication, reanalyzing what's going on in the field. Goalies have had saves. Like overall, it's been a really fun game, and there's been really good goals and a lot of plays happening.
Anything you'd look for here in half number 2? Adjustments?
Draw. Seeing how the Bengals adjusted the draw to see how this is going to go.
This draw controlled by Bear River. And it feels like there have been a couple of those where Brighton has been right there, but they haven't been able to get it clean, and Bear River's kind of cleaned it up and been able to take advantage.
So what I personally saw in that last circle was Brighton did have the ball handling, but she didn't have the speed and the momentum of her body continuing forward, and that Bear River was able to get a body contact real fast, knock the ball out of her stick.
Little quick burst, spin back. Great move, but right into the defense. As the call there. We'll keep it here. Boy, that's a heck of a move, though, put on by Mickelson.
Beautiful. Yeah, good job on her. She was able to get a good, we call that a question mark, roll. Great job.
She'll start it here. Mackenzie scored today. That shot over the crossbar and backed up here by Bear River. Anything you look for Bear River to adjust, or you feel like the way that they've played pretty much what you would expect and how they want to play?
I think they played pretty well. Nice rollback and nice defense. I think just being able to utilize your teammates just a little bit more. Brighton is giving them bits of space between them and their defender. So trusting each other more, having those passes, making sure you're in the outside hand to receive those passes and those shots. You see those a lot like we did in Olympus. So having that play in a little bit more here with the Bears is something that could really affect them in a positive way.
Gurley does a nice job there defensively, able to help get the possession back here for Brighton. Trying to split a pair of Bears this on the turf, and it'll go back. The call there, we'll just keep on going with LaCroix. Jenna running through behind goal.
So, yep, good. Settle down, look for your teammates, see what's going to happen. Got a 3-second call.
You kind of see defense recognize it a little bit late, trying to get back in positioning.
Well, there was a lot of chaos going on. There was a lot of movement. That ball went from nearly a whole 360. So there's a lot of movement going on. Defense is cutting around. So 3 seconds is kind of common.
Here will be LaCroix, pair of goals today, running in, cross the goal, and contact there. We'll do this again.
Okay, she will be going to center hash, which is a great advantage for her. Everybody loves center hash. Get the opportunity to see if she does a run it or rip it. Running it in to get a perfect angle or ripping it off the 8.
Coming in, LaCroix, the shot saved. Good play by Kiefer. Here comes Brighton. Big surge here by Hughley. Coming back around. Oh, boy, thought maybe had an opportunity. Didn't pull the trigger. Brighton here will now set it up.
When you get in those frantic moments like that, those fast breaks, going into your non-dominant hand is a little more scary. I think it was smart on her. She didn't have the full confidence in herself to take that left-handed shot. Save it for your teammates. Right?
Well, the momentum's kind of carrying you away from that flow, right? It's almost across the body. It's not an easy shot.
Exactly. She had defense there on that right-hand side, so do exactly what's done here. Get your teammates involved.
Given a moment here, I think Tabitha Hansen getting goggles back restored. Was on the turf there and allowing her to kind of get resituated before we restart. Gurley here will start it. She's got a pair of goals today. She's scored from similar situations. Saved away there by Pedley, nice job there for the sophomore. Bear River now looking to move it up the field, kind of navigating through. Lorimer trying to show some patience. That pass a little off the mark. Got to get on this. Up in the air. That was saved. I didn't know if she was going to run out of room or not there. Here
Nice
come
shot.
the Bears. We're going to get a stoppage here there. The yellow card being given here. Dangerous play there. Right call there made, and an opportunity here for Bear River now as Ellis here called for the infraction.
Smart. The ball moves faster than you. That was a good choice.
Here come the Bears. Have an open player. That shot just wide. Boy, good look there for Larkin. Mickelson here will gather. They're going to stop the clock as that ball kind of drifted away here.
It looks like we don't have balls on the end line. So that's definitely something they got to adjust to. Go get that ball clear out in left field.
We've got a,
I think an injury.
yeah.
I think she's bleeding.
Okay.
And if you can't have.
Yeah,
a player on the
that's
field.
LaCroix there being attended to on the sideline there. Appears to be okay. But to your point, they're working to get that addressed. A little bit of room to work here.
Nice defense. Way
Yeah.
to stay on that goal side.
And very aggressive play made there by Kiefer, stepping up, not being tentative at all, right? Showing the offense, hey, I'm right here. As the call here will be a free position for Mickelson. Coming in, shot. Oh, right through the legs. 5-hole there for Mickelson. Second goal of the game.
That was a beautiful goal. She was able to drive in from that 8-meter shot, did a little, fake hinge high, and then shot low. A lot of things with girls lacrosse is about the finesse, and that's exactly the finesse we always talk about, doing a fake high, shoot low, fake right, shoot left. All those type of things that we've seen here tonight is exactly how girls lacrosse is played. It's not about ripping it from the 12 or teaching players how to rip from the 8 or the 12. It's about teaching technique and stick control and, finesse and, overall just being a pretty player is what a lot of people call it.
I think the largest separation we've had today, 2-goal difference, 6-4 here for Bear River.
Mm-hmm.
LaCroix back on for the Bears. Again, she had been off, but that calf appearing to have been wrapped up. She's good to go.
I think it was an empty, so it's going to go to the Bengals.
Yep. Started here with Gurley. Trying to maintain it. She does. Isabel working back here with Bangeter. A little bit of time here for Eichner.
Something I've seen a lot with the Bengals is that they put 3 behind. A lot
Yeah.
of teams only teach 2. But we've been seeing a lot of 3s, giving the more open plays and cuts on the top side.
Boy, did that trickle out of bounds?
I'm not sure what was called.
Oh, cover. A long pass there, secured by Lorimer. Nearly intercepted. That pass unable to be handled. Still on the ground here. The push there will give it back here to Brighton.
Number 23, Alex hugely for the Bengals. Trying to create a spark in the second half here.
Brighton starting, working up ahead.
Great double team off the bat, but unfortunately that was stick-to-body contact.
They're sending up. Here's Eichner. But Bear River continue to be aggressive defensively right now with it.
I think this is like the first team we've seen play such strong defense
Yeah.
behind cage, not being scared to pass the GLE, getting up on the bodies of the attackers.
Well, and I just feel like what we've seen from Bear River today is as much intensity on defense as we've seen on offense. They just don't let up. Oh, beautiful. No-look goal. Scored for Brighton. How about the finish? Caroline Lee with her second of the game and a beauty.
That was, you heard it throughout that whole play. It was amazing. She was able to sneak through to defense, tuck and protect her stick, and then got like almost a Twizzler shot or behind the, low shoulder shot. I don't know how to call that, but it was beautiful.
I have a feeling that one may have to appear on social media later.
Oh, hopefully not with my caption.
Our editor wasn't listening, but we'll send him a text. We'll make sure he knows. Heck of a goal, pulling Brighton back to within one here. Gurley, boy, again, almost had the opportunity, but the hold there will give it to Brighton. Hugely works to the middle. Bang it her.
Nice.
Oh, good find. Over with Ellis. Boy, how about the attack there by Brighton?
That was fast-paced. That was a high-level playing lacrosse right there. The ball movement was great. The head on the swivel was great. Handling the ball overall phenomenal, and it's exciting to see what's going to happen here at the 8-meter.
Ellis here straight away. A chance to tie it up. Coming in, Ellis the shot and the goal. Beautiful finish there for Lauren Ellis. 10th goal of the year, and we're tied up.
That was a beautiful goal. She did exactly what happened on the other side, bouncing it off of the goalies right by her feet up the top pipe. Great placement, great goal.
What a game. We thought this would be a competitive game, and it certainly has been. Seen great responses from both sides.
Yeah, it's been, unexpected responses each time. When you think one team's getting ahead, all of a sudden the other team's snapping back and getting just as competitive against them.
And the way this game has been played, I'm kind of thinking in my head, man, a 2-goal difference is like a 6-goal in a normal game just because it's been so tough to come by. And yet, in a span of a minute and a half, Brighton comes back and ties it up, right? It's just been awesome to see these two teams go to battle and have answers and pushes. As this one scooped up here by LaCroix.
Oh, nice jump in that line on the attacking side. That's something, coaches can only dream of teaching their players, is actually having that drive to fly over that restraining line when the ball is released into possession. That was greatly done and taught here with Brighton.
LaCroix again. Coming ahead. Boy, she's got some room. Has help.
Yep. Shooting space is what just got called by the trail ref.
So Jenna here going to start on the angle here. She's had a very crafty game, Jenna has, coming in. Similar, same call.
Mm-hmm. I think it moves her over a hash, though. Maybe not, though. I think that's kind of what she was wanting to work for anyway.
Yeah.
That's such a hard angle. You want to take it left-handed. Yep. She's a strong right-handed player.
Now they're going to push her
right back to the starting point. Yep. See what happens here.
LaCroix will start again. Yeah, false start. You kind of see Ellis, same look, right? Like that momentum of just wanting to get in on it.
Exactly.
Good find over, shot saved. Oh, great job. Went to the feet, and Kiefer keeps it out. A call here.
I think there was a push because I did see someone cross over the goalie circle.
The crease.
Creases boys across.
Oh. Bummer. Working in. Boy, a roller. The goal for Bear River. This scored by Lorimer.
That was a beautiful low shot, skimming right across the turf into the back of the net. Great goal, great finding at left ankle. Amazing job. But yes, crease is technically boys
Goalie
across.
circle.
Yeah, goalie circle's girls, but we say both.
I'm still learning.
Yeah. I'll say crease.
I'm bummed I missed that one. I apologize. I'm going to get fired. I just got the head shake from the opinions that matter. 7-6 Bear River. A goal here from Lorimer and the lead back to the visitors. Boy, that's a tough one because Kiefer makes that initial save. You think there's some momentum, right? You get a stop.
Well,
And I'm not saying that's the wrong call. I'm just saying you're that close from having to stop. And
well, a lot with goalies is, there is a lot of physical play on them, but it's emotional is the biggest thing. It's a very lonely sport as all the teammates run forward.
Yeah.
She's back by herself. So when you have the adrenaline of, oh, my gosh, I just did something great, to, oh, no, here we go again, that's a lot of emotional flex.
boy, here comes Gurley. She'll work behind. Kiefer's played phenomenal today for Brighton. She's made some great saves for them.
Go, Alex, right there.
They work to the middle here, right.
Very smart. Yeah, they were able to see each other, get that center get in the center hash because she was able to pull a shooting space. But actually, it was a push. My apologies. It was a push and getting the center hash.
Courtney Wright coming in, and that taken away. Good save there by Pebley. She'll drop it.
I haven't seen a deputy for a while.
Oh, we're going to get it again. Boy, this is going to be the second time.
Unfortunately, that was a check to the head. You get a little bit excited trying to get that ball turned over as fast as you can on your attacking side. Hopefully she's all right. She's standing up. But she's got to take care of her head. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, this is Pearson being walked over to the sideline. She appears to be okay, but you just always worry about contact to the head, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, we've had that, twice of a yellow card, once from a not a great pass. I wouldn't say bad, not a great pass, hitting the head. We got to protect our heads, and that's where the, strong conversation comes from is, do you put girls back in helmets? I know I played in a helmet in college for concussion reasons, so, I defend the helmets all the way.
You and I have talked about that. I've asked the question. You've kind of told me your opinion on it, and
yeah,
it's this one turned over. Eichner trying to work through that Bear River D. She'll allow reinforcements. Room here for Gurley.
That backer defense is going to be playing a lot more smoothly for them as they don't have that seventh attacker to look eyes on.
Gurley trying to take advantage of the space, and that one trickles in. Boy, her stick kind of got caught up in traffic. Didn't look like a lot of momentum on the shot, but it crosses the goal line.
Yeah, no, that was, honestly, from my perspective, I thought it was going out. So to see it, trickle in, great for her. Every goal counts, and that was a goal to be proud of. It got, past that GLE.
All that matters is that it crosses the line, right? Doesn't matter how much momentum, velocity. Third goal of the game for Isabel Gurley as Brighton has drawn back to even.
I feel like the energy has definitely changed out here, and it's kind of fun to see how this rest of this next half is going to go.
Well, you start to feel the intensity pick up, right? And knowing that time's ticking away, opportunities are...
Bengals are player down, so, yeah, that's a lot of hyped energy.
Yeah, and that all has started because of the turnover. Brighton able to take advantage. Off the draw, Bear River eventually getting it. Room here coming ahead for LaCroix. Jenna.
Shooting space, putting her back on that first inside.
Boy, how many of those has she drawn today?
I think, as far as my count, that's at least her third.
Well, it's the third in the last 4 minutes.
That's very true.
She's become very adept at that. She'll start here from the 8, again on the angle. LaCroix, that pass gathered, and the goal. Not the first time Bear Rivers employed that tactic. It works again as Lorimer scores her second.
Yeah, my eyes were on Izzy and a Bear River player over on the elbow. That looked like she was trying to get in. Izzy was like, no way, I'm stepping in front. No one paid attention to the actual shooter that was able to get in, get that pass, and release it into the goal. She did have a hesitation, making sure she had the ball in her stick. And honestly, that's not a terrible thing. Make sure you have control before you just release the ball, because you don't want to go in every which way.
You know, one of the things coming into this game, Bear River had scored 179 goals. Again, that's in 10 games. We talked about that. 86 assists.
Yeah.
Almost averaging on an assist on half of their goals. It is a team that moves it around a lot. Very unselfish. We've seen that play out here in this game here this evening as well.
Yeah, these stats are spread out very evenly across their team, and it's, it shows out here.
Off the drop. And, yeah, Lorimer was trying everything she could to get that possession. It'll be given here to Brighton. Oh, and that pass sails. Trickling through, Bangeter with a chance to gather it. At the feet, that kicked down. Oh, we got a push here instead. Well, I thought we maybe had that kicked out, and now Coach Nash gonna go down and clarify that.
Yeah, so, this can go multiple ways. On if it was kicked out, was it bounced off the foot? Did someone else push it on, to her, and it just bounced off her foot? We don't have a playback, but a lot of things could have happened there, making it, ultimately the Bear Rivers ball.
Yeah, the call was the push there, and another one. Just continue on, and now we'll get an official set here.
Okay, 2 fouls are drawn, a horizontal check, and in the sphere.
Pearson there to start it.
She was just going to get that ball away from her.
Yep.
She was swarmed.
There was Bear River working it up. Here's LaCroix. Approaching 10 to play here in the regulation. Jenna had a steam. Boy, thought she nearly had Lorimer again. And we got a timeout taken here by Bear River. Timeout Bears. They've got the possession and the lead. You're watching KSL Sports Rewind's Game of the Week.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs.
Simply complete an application on your phone or computer and select the low-rate option you prefer.
And then sit back and enjoy the peace of mind that comes from knowing you have a low-rate line of credit. Ready for whatever life throws at you.
To learn more or start your application, visit uccu.com or stop by any branch.
Mountain Land Power Equipment provides exceptional service and high-quality brands you know and trust in lawn, landscaping, and snow removal products. Our experienced staff of technicians repair all types of snow plows, snow blowers, lawn mowers, small engines, and is trained to answer questions about lawn, garden, snow removal, and landscaping products. Mountain Land Power Equipment, now with 2 locations to serve you in Salt Lake City and Springville.
Welcome back. Beautiful new look here at the new Brighton High School. And, of course, the football field, one of the few things that stayed in the rebuild, but, man, a different setting. Still beautiful, tucked up against the mountains here. And I want to thank Garrett Wilson, Coach Nash, everyone here at Brighton for taking care of us, allowing us to come. It's been a great game.
It's been a really great game. It's been very fun seeing, all athletes excel in this game and really take it to that next level. It's been fun to see, these different techniques against one another with the backer defense, the high rides off of the attackers on the Bengals jumping over the line. There's been a lot of fun adjustments back and forth on the draw. So it's been overall a really fun and intensive game.
Bear River will start it. Are you, in that moment, you drawing up a play here? You just trying to be kind of methodical with here's how we want to approach the last 10 minutes?
All of the above. Yeah, all of the above. I think it's definitely talking about what kind of plays can we make here? What kind of opportunities do we want to give each other? How do we want to end the game? Are you going to be someone that's going to hold off in the corner? Or are you going to be someone that's going to try and get as many goals as you can, as much action as you can?
Oh, I think Bear River just holds off, right? I'm teasing.
I was going to say, I don't know about that. I'm looking for her to start burning past this. Yep.
And nice job there defensively. Yep. It was a good job by Steuben there. Quick to recognize. Bear River working around. LaCroix now over with Cummins. Cummins had a goal in that first half. This is probably the most methodical we've seen Bear River be today.
They're waiting for their opportunities. There's definitely a play going on here. Half the players have their stick down. They're waiting for some nice help.
Peeling back, and that one, I think, was deflected out. Good look there for Wilkinson.
Yeah, that was a great save by the goalie, too. She got a little bit of a tip of her stick on that. Was able to get it out of bounds. I think she's getting up on the first inside for a foul.
So here will be a sophomore, Shelby, coming in. Boy, that defense pitching down there to push the call.
Yeah, I'm happy she's a strong player, though. Definitely was a good old push to the ribs. Well, she gets another shot, so let's see.
Yeah, she'll try again. Shelby will wind that just off the mark. I thought Brighton might have been the closest. Ooh, boy. I'll leave that here.
As I say, the refs have the best perception on the game. They get in the right angles. They're trained to be a certain way. That's a ref that I trust 1,000%. So if she says it's theirs, it's theirs.
Yeah, well. And in this situation, her opinion is the only that matters. That pass given up, and Brighton now will have it. There's an old saying in basketball, right? Ball don't lie. Well, there you go, right?
I get that. Yeah, I can follow that.
So Brighton here will start it, and no surprise, Bear River's got a double team down in the corner on it. Been that aggressive today. Oh, that one almost given up. Boy, that is a great job, at least delaying the possession there for Bear River. That was almost disaster for Brighton.
Yeah, no, I think that was Shelby Wilkinson, the sophomore, being able to get a little bit of that interception, covering the stick immediately.
Here's LaCroix. She'll start from the 12. Worked in front. That one, I think he forgot a piece. Gurley able to gather it.
Great save, able to get ball control. Trying to get the ball upfield as best as she can.
Here comes Gurley. A little bit of space here. She's running to the boundary. Now cut off. Peeling back to the middle. All sort of Bear defenders around her. A call there on the trip. 6.5 to play here in regulation. 1 goal difference. This ties the most goals that Bear River's given up this year at 7.
That is very true, yeah.
Here's Gurley on the start. That thought that might have been jarred loose by Larkin. The whistle here will keep it with Brighton.
Across the body. You can tell Izzy's trying to get her composure. She's had a lot of contact on her these last few minutes. Just get it to her teammates. Get the ball moving. That's smart.
Where she starts with Lee. Caroline here continuing on. That one out of play, deflected out. It'll stay here.
And the Bengals with the ball. The ball was deflected out of bounds by Bear River.
Bengals will start it.
5 minutes, 45 seconds to go.
Where do you look here if you're Brighton offensively, Kenzie?
Find the stability. Where's been the most shots taken? What's worked the best? What's going to sustain them through these next few minutes?
Here's Bangor in the corner, being defended by Tanner. We'll work this back over with Wright. Bangor trying to work in front of that goalie circle, and boy.
Yep. Going forward, sideways, backwards, a charge is a charge. You cannot force your way through defense. So great capitalization for the Bears.
Bear River working up through Lorimer. Now up with Cummins. Has LaCroix with her. Sydney still on it. And Cummins now will show patience. Boy, that's a tough pass for LaCroix. Jenna working in front. That one couldn't be handled. Bear River staff would have liked to call. None there as Kiefer able to gather. Leaves it here in the circle. Tripped up there.
So, when you do a deputy like that, the defender can stand outside the crease waiting for the attacker to come out. She cannot block her from going in, but she is more than welcome to stand anywhere around that crease waiting for her to come out. So that's kind of what you saw there.
This will be Zoe Kiefer starting it here for the Bengals. There's that double team again by Bear River. It has been very productive for this Bears defense. And a charge there.
You can't dip your shoulder under. Yep, that was a fair call. She dipped her shoulder as she tried to get through.
Boy, Coach Nash didn't love that call. And Bear River will start it. 3.5 to go here.
Yeah, there's a lot of energy on this field right now. The best thing they can do is keep the players safe as best as they can, call what they see, and get the ball moving as best as they can out there.
Here's Marley.
Up to Shelb.
Yep. Wilkinson. Bear River has the lead. We're down to 3 to play. How aggressive are you defensively now if you're Brighton?
I can just hear the team on the sideline calling for a certain play. Red, that means tight defense and get that ball turned over like they just did.
Yeah, they got it. Now hugely pushing up the field. Brighton trying to take advantage before this Bear River D can get set up. And we've got
3 seconds. Smart. That's exactly what that trail ref is for, is watching those minor fouls. The head ref is watching ball going behind crease.
So this will be Avery Miller here to start for Brighton. Approaching 2 to play. Started. They'll work back. Got to keep this in, and does. Good work there. Right. Being defended here by Hansen. Working to the edge. Miller. And that one jarred loose, the whistle there.
Yep, we're in the last 2 minutes. Just stop the clock. And that was across the body, or in the sphere. I didn't see the sign completely.
Here will be Lee to start from the 12. Caroline trying to get a little bit of space there.
Yeah, that defense was able to stay on her, making sure they didn't get it further than a stick length away, pushing her outside that 8.
Here's Bangeter. Boy, trying to come around. 3 Bear defenders there. Back over. That pass couldn't be handled. Captured here by Hughley. Lee. Just not a lot of room on the interior of this Bear defense.
Well, something we're seeing a lot from the Bengals right now is they're driving in the same lane their teammates come from, so it's super smart. I think this is Bangeter pulling it over to the elbow, getting a different lane to hopefully get an opportunity.
Brighton working from behind the goal. Hughley works over. Gurley inside of a minute to play. Izzy right in front. The shot saved. Biggest save of the game for Pebley. Gurley back with it here for Brighton. Has help on the edge. And a call here. Boy, what a find by Gurley. The shooting space will give the opportunity here for Brighton.
That was very smart play. That was fast-paced, a lot of energy. They're playing with heart and tenacity out there. You know, she's a right-hander player going off the first inside, so it's going to be great to see what happens.
Coming in, the shot saved again by Pebley. 2 big saves these last 30 seconds for Bear River. That jarred loose. Ground ball, and the push here will give it back. That clock moving. 20 seconds going. Brighton trying to work through Lee.
Charge.
And the charge.
You know, that's an unfortunate call. She had a lot of force going forward, but unfortunately, the combination of that defense coming forward and her body language just in those moments, it got a charge.
Bear River's trying to call a timeout. The official can't hear it, can't see it.
You can't call a timeout in the last 2 minutes.
Really?
So, yeah.
All right.
That's why they're doing that.
That one broken up. Final seconds ticking away. Nielsen got to get this one away. Sophie got to tie it. The shot and the goal. Sophie Nielsen scored it. The clock says 0. I stopped it the moment it crossed. I've got 1.5 on mine. The game-tying goal from the freshman Sophie Nielsen. A tough angle.
No, that was good on her. Way to keep control, way to keep composure. There's a lot of energy and a lot of stuff going on out here. Looks like they're going to have a little bit of a timeout. They will be going into overtime. But, yeah, that was great. Tucking it in, getting that goal into the back of the net.
Wow, what a close by Sophie Nielsen. And now the coach is being called here to discuss. I think the question that Coach Webb is going to have is the scoreboard says 0. And, again, I stopped it on mine. I've got 1.5. Ours is an unofficial clock. It's not tied to the official clock at all. Could have been off by 1 second, less than a second. But we'll see what the officials designate here. The indication was a goal, right?
Yep, indication was a goal. I saw a goal. I saw that ball hit the back of the net. You know, Bear River was trying to call a timeout. Unfortunately, you can't call a timeout in the last few minutes. So Bengals capitalized on that time and that space and got that ball to the back of the net. So what's happening now is they're able to talk to their team for just a few minutes as they set up for I believe they do it. I haven't been in a timeout personally myself this season. I think it's a 3-minute halves. Whoever gets the first goal wins the game. So I think that's exactly what we're going to go into here. We'll see.
We've got overtime coming up. What a game. What a comeback from Brighton. You have the turnover at midfield. Mm-hmm. You have Sophie Nielsen, who's able to gather it, runs through half the Bear River defense, nearly from a flush angle on the goal, somehow able to fit it over the shoulder. And we're tied up, and we head to overtime.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how this overtime goes. There's a lot of energy through the fans, through the teammates, through the coaches that, you know, this is going to be a really fun, overtime. See what happens.
We're going to take a break. We'll come back, have overtime. When we come back, you're watching KSL Sports Rewind's Game of the Week.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs.
Simply complete an application on your phone or computer and select the low-rate option you prefer.
And then sit back and enjoy the peace of mind that comes from knowing you have a low-rate line of credit. ready for whatever life throws at you.
To learn more or start your application, visit uccu.com or stop by any branch.
Welcome back. We got to clarify. I was kind of waiting to change my our scoreboard here. They have put .4 on the clock. Now, I said on mine, which is, again, not the official, I had 1.5. But as they talked about it, they have deemed 0.4 seconds to be left. And so we will have a final face-off in preparation for that final 0.4. And then we'll have overtime. Of course,
I don't know. You could get a goal in 4 seconds. I've not personally seen it, but you just never know how fast that ball can really travel.
0.4.
0.4. My bad.
Yeah, 0.4.
We're barely going to get a draw.
I don't think you can get a goal in 0.4 seconds.
No. Yeah, you're right. I love Nash. She's always on the middle of the field.
So this will largely be just for the sake of stats. In the air, and that'll do it. Now we'll head to overtime. Brighton and Bear River. Oh. Yep, tied up.
Yep.
Overtime when we come back. Welcome back. Start of overtime. Brighton and Bear River tied at 8. Dane Stewart, Kenzie Christiansen with you. Boy, what a game, Kenzie. We talked about the draws, how important they've been. How pivotal is this one to start the extra frame?
You know, if it keeps the tradition on this game, it's going to go in the direction Bear River guides it. But Izzy's going up to draw, which mixes it up a little bit. Maybe hopefully get a different direction and give a little less, a little more guess on where this is going to go.
First to score wins. 3 minutes on the clock for the first overtime. Bear River trying to get a statement win on the road. Brighton trying to get ready for their region plays. This one sent ahead but plucked out of the air there by Bear River. And it's LaCroix. Jenna. To the middle. Boy, right in front. The shot, the goal, the game going to Bear River. And it's Marley with her first goal of the game winner.
That was a beautiful draw. You know, capturing that up high with the one-handed snatch, getting down team. She pulled all the defense to her, dropped it off to Marley. Marley sailed in the back of the net, as you said, for her first goal. Beautifully done.
Kenzie, your final thoughts and a selection of our player of the game.
You know, I think this game was amazing. I think both teams had very great moments and a lot of growth and a lot of, you know, teachable moments. I think for, you know, the home Bengals, our goalie, she did amazing. I think she had great saves. She had a great ball tracking. She is very communicative. Overall, a great job for the Bengals. As we flip it over to the Bears, I got to give it off to LaCroix. Like, that was amazing. She's done some amazing things off draw. She's had great goals. She's had great 8-meter shooting spaces. Just overall, a lot of great things happen. So I think those are two players.
Boy, great game. Bear River with a big win on the road. 9-8, our players of the game. Annabelle Kiefer, the goalie for Brighton. And for Bear River, it's the senior, Jenna LaCroix. Pair of goals today, couple of assists, a lot of calls she drew. She had a phenomenal game. Bear River improves to 10-1 as they defeat Brighton 9-8 for Vince Francis. Kenzie Christiansen, my name is Dane Stewart. Thank you for joining us. And a reminder, you can catch girls lacrosse every week, the rest of the year, all the way to state championships, only on KSLSports.com.